I was quite apprehensive the first time because this is something which wasn't, I was introduced the first time when I registered. So when I received the call, very honest, not that I did not want to do anything good for somebody, it's just that the process I wasn't aware about. So when I read about the process, when she, when she made me understand how it goes, so that time there was just one belief: if I could save somebody's life, I want to go ahead and do it. So I was quite determined that I want to do it, and I tried to convince my parents and my sister. She lives abroad, so she had an idea in her mind that hospitals here in India, they generally do something. There's something in news also, Apollo and everybody up. So she had this in her mind that there could be something wrong. So she stopped me first. But then somehow convinced her and went through this. So now she's here and she's quite convinced, yeah.
I'm on the stage with them. Yeah. Sure, sure. Just a couple of minutes. Just a chat with Akash, and then before we call the family in. Okay, I want to give just a small incident before we move on with Akash. I was the one interacting with Akash, and when I called him to mention that he's a match for a cancer patient, he just asked for a day or two, obviously, to check if he was doing the right thing. And then a day later, when I called him, he said he was ready to go ahead, but he said we needed to get his medical checkup done before we move on. So Akash said, "Could you give me a week's time, please, because I have a fracture in my foot." So sometimes we are able to wait. So I went back to my colleague who was coordinating with the patient's doctor. Unfortunately, she came back and said the situation is not too good, so we need to go ahead with the process right away. So I knew Akash was in a difficult situation, but I had to call him back and tell him, Akash, unfortunately, we have to get the medical checkup done tomorrow. Could you please step up? And then there comes Akash the next day in a wheelchair to get his medical checkup done so that he can donate for somebody who needs and who is a stranger. For some of us who counsel a lot of donors, who meet a lot of donors, some of them difficult, of course, donors like Akash infuse so much of positive energy in us. Somebody today was telling me, you're doing a fantastic job, in convincing Akash. And I actually said, I did not have to do any convincing. He did the convincing, as we heard from him. He did the convincing himself with his sisters and his family. I just had to go and meet them once. It's fantastic to have such people around. Thank you,
Thank
Akash,
you.
for convincing your sister.
Thank you.
How do you feel today?
Very good.
How do you feel in actually meeting the person that you donated for?
To be very honest, there was no feeling as such before I came here. I just was praying, that she would live much longer. And since God has awarded you a new life, so enjoy your life to the fullest and thank Him that He has awarded you a new life. And please keep me in your prayers. That's it.
One more question before we move on to the others. In India, we face a lot of challenges with donors because, as we heard Raghu and the doctors speak, there is a lack of awareness. There is a lot of misunderstanding about the entire process of donation, and of course, a lot of us, even educated, have this fear in us. Would you like to explain something about the process of donation, what you went through, how you felt, what you would like to say as a donor who has donated to other potential donors who are out there?
Okay, so the same problem which I faced in my when initially Datri called me, and in fact Gayatri called me, I wasn't aware what it was, and to be very honest, I did not even know what stem cells was. So I went through the internet and I read about the things. I read that in foreign countries people are aware of this, and the government itself is taking initiative to register more and more people and citizens. So Now coming back to India, I guess the biggest role which people can play here is the government can play a very big role here. If government can take initiative and making people aware of this, then no doubt that a lot of people can register, and it could be a very great help. So like for example, people invest in government bonds. Why? Because they are safe. So that's how, if the advice is coming directly from the government, so people would definitely, believe that. And secondly, if we start from the, tender age of the school, when, in the childhood, if everybody is made aware of this thing, then definitely in adulthood there would be no hindrance, and people will be self-aware, and they will definitely come ahead, and will be there's nothing to stop, and they can anybody can donate, of course.